Okay, so we've all heard the saying, right? That laughter is the best medicine. But what if that medicine had some really serious side effects? In this explainer, we're going to dig into the surprisingly dark side of laughing.
I mean, it's a classic for a reason, isn't it? When you laugh, your brain releases all these feel-good endorphins. It connects us with people. It's great. But, like any powerful medicine, the dose really matters.
So what happens if you overdose? The source material we're looking at comes from a psychologist, and they make a pretty stark warning. Even the best medicine can become toxic if you get the dose wrong. It turns out that laughing till it hurts can be, well, a lot more literal than you think. All right, let's start with the body's backlash. I mean, when side splitting is taken literally, what are the actual physical dangers of laughing way too hard?
Okay, get this. Laughter-induced syncope. It sounds totally wild, but it's a real thing. What happens is a deep, uncontrollable belly laugh can actually put so much pressure on your chest that it messes with the blood flow back to your heart. That can cause a sudden, sharp drop in blood pressure, and for some people, they literally faint.
And believe it or not, the physical risks don't stop there. That rapid, kind of shallow breathing you do when you're really laughing, it can trigger an asthma attack. For people with narcolepsy, it can cause something called cataplexy, which is a sudden total collapse of your muscles. And yep, even the phrase side splitting has a dark side. It can make hernias worse, or, and this is a wild one, it can actually dislocate your jaw. So we've covered the physical dangers, but what about what's going on in our minds? Because laughter isn't always a sign of pure joy. Sometimes it's a hiding place.
This is where it gets really interesting. You have to spot the difference. You know, healthy, joyful laughter, that connects us. But then there's defensive laughter. You might have heard it called gallows humor. It's not about connection, it's a shield. It's a way to dodge tough emotions like grief or fear. Think about someone joking about a really serious diagnosis. They might be doing that just to avoid talking about how scared they actually are. It's just masking the real issue.
And the cognitive fallout doesn't end there. In some cases, uncontrollable laughter can actually be a symptom of a manic episode. But even for the rest of us, that huge chemical rush from an intense laugh can lead to a crash afterward, leaving you feeling totally drained. And here's a subtle one. If you're always chasing that huge over-the-top laugh, regular, everyday joys can start to feel a little, well, dull in comparison.
Okay, so we've talked body, we've talked mind. Now let's get into the social side effects. How can a joke actually break a bond instead of making one? It all comes down to context, right? If you laugh at the wrong moment during a serious negotiation, you're not going to seem friendly. You're going to seem sarcastic or dismissive. Laugh when a friend tells you some really bad news, you'll just come off as totally heartless. It's honestly a super quick way to wreck your credibility and just push people away.
You know, this really shows how laughter is a social double-edged sword. When you share a private joke with someone, it builds this amazing sense of an in-group. It feels great, right? But the flip side is, when laughter is used to mock or put someone down, it creates a really painful out-group. It doesn't build bonds, it shatters them.
So after looking at all this, what's the expert's verdict here? What's the final takeaway we should be thinking about? Well, the expert view seems pretty clear. Laughter is an incredibly powerful tool for health and for connection. But when it becomes uncontrollable, or when it's just being used as a shield, it stops being that healing force. It actually becomes a barrier. So, this leaves us with a pretty powerful question to ask yourself. Is your laughter healing you? Or is it hiding something? The next time you find yourself in one of those uncontrollable fits of laughter, maybe just take a second to think about what's really behind it. Is it genuine joy and connection? Or is it something else entirely? It's a question that could really change how you think about the best medicine.